Yeah, these are all the numbers of the career resume. I faced CC Sabathia when he came up with Cleveland, and I was kind of on my way out. And I can tell you that standing in that batter's box and facing that blazing fastball, back then it was fastball slider, it was intimidating, and it was something that as a veteran player I took notice of and said, this guy has the stuff to dominate in the big leagues. And then obviously covering him with the New York Yankees, I don't know how you guys felt, but every time CC Sabathia took the mound in his prime, you felt like that was a win day for the Yankees. I mean, that was a true ace for this club who not only won the World Series, but reinvented himself when the velocity decreased, found a way to continue to get those big outs. So the experience of trying to face him and the privilege of covering him as a New York Yankee, I think he's a definite Hall of Famer, probably first ballot. Jack, you would think might be close, right?
I think he's a first ballot. I already said I'm going to give him my vote. I remember Joe Mauer last year. He was a first ballot choice for me. He ended up with, I believe, 76% of the vote. I think CC Sabathia it's going to be a close call for first ballot status. Again, he's got my vote. One thing that might stand out to some people, guys, his career ERA was 3.74. There's only two pitchers in the Hall of Fame, two starters who had a higher ERA than that, Red Ruffing and Jack Morris. But you got to dig a little deeper. You got to look at ERA plus. His ERA plus was 116, which is on par with Steve Carlton and Tom Glavine. So if there is someone who tried to pluck out a negative and is calling that ERA negative, you got to make sure you dig a little deeper.
We live in a world of numbers, right? But Jack, also you mentioned intangibles. I think that Flash's point, every time he went out there, he wielded, you want to call it a torch or an axe or a hammer. That's what he had. You could see it in his body language, where some pitchers you don't see that. You knew that was CC was bringing that every game.
There are a couple of quick stories that leap to mind when you're talking about CC Sabathia. The Milwaukee Brewers run that he had, where he had free agency looming, and he basically said to the Brewers, yeah, give me the ball as often as possible. I'm going to push this team into the postseason. Didn't care about free agency or what could potentially happen to his arm. And then, of course, with the Yankees, where the Yankees and the Rays had some beanball issues, and as he was moving toward a $500,000 bonus for innings pitched, he hit or threw close to one of the Rays, got himself tossed out of the game defending a teammate. I believe it was Austin Romine, because he wanted to make sure that the teammate came first. Didn't care about the $500,000 that was sitting out there, which, by the way, the Yankees eventually did give him. But as a player, that had to really resonate with you.
Jack, I was working that game in the booth, and I remember saying that CC Sabathia has been a guy who has had bad outings before, and he would take his beating like a man, right? He wouldn't start drilling people because he had a bad outing. What he did that night was protecting a teammate, and I think the rest of the Yankees on that team, obviously, and the entire organization realized we not only have a #1 guy with his stuff, we have a #1 guy with the way he goes about his business, leading our ball club. I'll never forget that night in Tampa.